Here we have a clear level at 52.12. It looks like that is now an area where we may reject again. So we had looks like we had a rally um at 8:30 to the upside. Um After we came down a bit. We were going sideways for quite a while. During pre-market, we were going sideways. But once we broke below the 50 EMA on the 5-minute chart, it then started a rally to the upside. But as we can see, we're now reaching an area of resistance. So we're coming down. The market's about to open here in just a minute. I have a put bias here, just because we are above the 50 and the 9, but we hit a level of resistance. How I would change my bias is if we were to break above the 52.12 area with volume. But for now, 52.12 would be an area where I grab puts for the downside. All right. If I want upside, if I'm going to grab calls and I want to get a bounce off the 9 EMA, so I'm probably looking at waiting to position myself around the 5202, 5200 area for calls. Okay. The reason why I don't want to grab calls here is because we see that there's clear resistance. Okay. So puts would be what I would want here, but I would be looking at calls around the 5202 level. Right, y'all? Let me know if you guys have any questions ahead of time. I see we have people hopping in. Um, we may have a couple new people here. I do see Zaki. What's going on, Zaki? Zaki is one of our new snipers. Y'all make sure y'all welcome him and feel invited. Then we have
Honestly,
going on, bro. How you living, man?
pretty good, man. How you doing out there?
Good, I'm good, I'm good. Welcome to the squad. How you living today? Everything straight?
Man, listen, I'm in Philly. The sun is shining. Everything's straight.
I love that. I love that, man. It's great to be optimistic, especially on the Monday morning, man. We're here to make some money. You ready for that?
Hey, man, listen, you could be optimistic on a Monday morning. You're doing best. You're doing better than a lot of the population.
That's a fact. That's
They hate
absolutely
Mondays.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. We switching the script over here though. So we're definitely glad to have you. Cool stuff, y'all. All right. So we just opened the market. So as we said, right, 52.12, clear area of rejection. And what happens as soon as the market opens? 52.07, we had straight down to the downside. We got a little bit of a pop-up, literally just a millisecond. Okay. And then it flushed straight down. We're not scientists here. We're not fortune tellers. All right, guys. All we're looking at is the area of where we rejected at last. We rejected once, we rejected twice, another time. So it only makes sense that we would come down again. All right. Now, I told you guys before, we will be looking at entering in for calls at around 5204. That's the level I would want to see upward momentum. So right now we're currently ranging, right? Currently ranging between 5212 and 5206. Until we break out of that range, that's when we decide what we're going to do. But this is just the first minute of the market. So we just really sitting on hands at this point. All right. It's a lot of buyer volume right there. And this is why you take gains quick, fast, and in a hurry. Okay. Getting raised on like this is not fun. Now, here's the deal though. If we get back to 5212, guess what you still do? You still grab puts. Why? Because if it breaks above 5212, then you get out. But if it doesn't, then you immediately in profit. Now, it doesn't look like we're getting that entry as of yet for 5212, but we did see that we tested the upside once again at around 5210 and then again got knocked down on the rejection. So as of now, we're really just ranging between this area up here and then this area down here. All right. Let's see where we start to trend. And if you can see the charts here at the bottom, we have the different ranges here. We have the 5 minute chart and the 15-minute chart, just to allow us to get a better view of what's going on a moment by moment basis, um, so that we can make the right decisions. I love this pop up here, guys. Again, what I would want to see if we get back into this level 52.10, that's your area of puts. Okay, you always want to grab puts on a green candle. You want to grab calls on a red candle. Okay, I promise you, if you just do that, you're going to make a lot of money in the markets. If you just practice doing that, practice buying puts on a green candle, practice buying calls on a red candle. I'm telling you, it's going to change your entire trading journey. Okay, especially for you guys that are newer traders. If you just stick to that, you're going to make a lot of money. Okay. Obviously the goal here is not to just buy and sell based on the candle itself. What I'm saying is if you have a setup in mind, okay, right here we currently have a setup of potentially a drop brace drop or a demand zone bounce to the upside. Okay. If I believe we're going to be going down, what I would want to see is to get a lot of buyer volume to the upside, which is what it looks like it's currently doing right now, right? Potentially. If we were to get back up to 52.09 or so, then that's where you would want to grab puts, okay? Because it's a green candle. Now, this is what I like seeing right here. Look at the time we're spending in this area. This lets me know that this is a potential demand zone, okay? Now, if we break through the demand zone, then it would invalidate that. But as of now, if we continue getting pops to the upside here, that's how we know that we're still in the demand area. All right. Now, it currently looks like we're coming down. So if we still have puts on our mind, we want to make sure we get in up here. All right, guys. At least trying to touch the 9 EMA, which is this purple line, or anywhere near it. Okay. That's how we get our best entry. We don't want to just blindly buy things. All right. But I love the price action so far this morning. Um, it's giving us clear direction on what it wants to do. I love the fact that we got as high as 52.12 and are now right around 52.04. I love that. That shows that we have some potential volatility for the day. 52.04 again. This is the area where we say this is where we would want to grab calls. Okay? So if we break below here, that changes our bias. But if we don't, then it's safe to grab calls in this area, right? But at this point, we're just waiting. And now the reason why we would grab calls at 52.03, 52.02, okay, is because that's where we last had our last rally to the upside. Okay. So don't be surprised if you start seeing green candles start helping us curve to the upside here. That's because we're here in a area. Now, new facts bring new opinions though. Okay. So if we break below whatever this is right here, right, 52.02, and keep going further down, that means that this is no longer the higher low. This would be the lower low, okay? But as predicted, what do we see here? Buyer volume. Why? Because the last time we were in this area, we had large buyer volume. So there's orders here that were stuck in that area that allowed the buyers to bring it up. Okay, that's what you just saw just now. So just because it's going down doesn't always mean that the first thing you do is go and grab a put. Okay, we want to look for areas where we know that there's a high probability of what we're trying to accomplish in the market. It looks like an area of interest over here. So it looks like there's buyers. Um, and I'm gonna make these green now. All right, so I'm making these levels green because it shows that there are active buyers in that area to take it to the upside, okay? So in this area, we have a lot of buyers, okay? So if we're ever in this area for too long, it lets us know that buyers are here to take it up. For instance, this candle right here, if this candle doesn't break below this lower candle, that's how we know they're going to reverse it on us up here, okay? Look at that. Still staying green. Again, guys, if we break below this level, 5202, all bets are off. Downside potentially is confirmed at that level if we break below 5202. But again, we have buyers in here. It's 5202, 5204. What are they doing now? Pushing it up, 5205, right? Looking ahead head to the 9 EMA. Look at that. Boom. 5206, 5206.50. Guys, this is just watching the chart, looking to the left, seeing the past data, and then making decisions on the future, right? So if all you did was just say, all right, if it comes all the way down to this 5202 level, I'm gonna grab calls because the last time it was there, it went to the upside. If you waited until we grabbed 5202 and got calls, this is your entry. This is potentially your exit. Okay. 5202 to 5206. That's a lot of money in there. There's a lot of money in those candles, right? Right. So here's the new story. Now we are touching the 9 EMA, but are we gonna break above it and open above it on the 1 minute chart? That's the question, right? Because anytime we touch the 9 EMA, if we don't break above it, that means that the downside trend is still confirmed. One level I really want to see us touch is 5208. If we touch 5208, then that's for me at that level. If we don't break above that 5208, that's really the best area to grab puts, right? Because it's essentially going to be on a green candle anyway. And that's what it looks like it's trying to go now. We're going to probably at least touch 5207. Just in my opinion. Yeah, there's a nice pop again. 52. Yep, there it is. Look at what it did. 52. Oh man, I think the market is listening to me at this point. 52, it almost hit 5208, right? 5207.5. So it's looking to try to get there. But look at what happens when we start trying to reach above again, right? We could start getting resistance. See? You see what I mean? Like it's reaching, and then it gets smacked down. Reach, smack down. Right? Look at that. 5206 again. Now, it's probably still going to try to go and grab 5208, but what's to happen at 5208 might not be good for people that are on the buy side because sellers are going to want to come back in. And guess what else is at 5208? The 50 EMA, right? So if we're still on a downtrend, we shouldn't be able to we shouldn't be able to break above the 50 EMA. So let's see what happens here, right? Here it is. We tagged 5208 just now. What happens at 5208? 5208.5. Again, this is the 50 EMA here. Is it going to complete the upside trend? That's the question. All right, 5209. Again, guys, anytime we break above like that, and there's the buyer volume again. Anytime we break above like that, we want to see what's volume is to come. And this is what we want to see anytime that occurs, right? If we were to grab anything over here, it's after we see what's to come after the fact, right? So if we're here at the 50, what we want to see after the 50 is if we open above or below that 50 EMA. We didn't even get a chance to do that. It just broke right through it, right? And again, new facts are always going to bring new opinions in the market. Because we didn't see any resistance at that level because it just broke right through it, we didn't even get a chance to grab any puts at that level, right? But again, here we are at 5212. Here we are again at 5212, and what's happening? Back down. So this is a heavy level right here, heavy level of resistance. I'm gonna actually make the line a little wider, okay? Heavy line of resistance here. So if we do break above it, guess what's coming with it? Volume, right? If there's a convincing enough room for it to go to the upside, then it's going to come with a lot of volume. It's going to go up very, very quickly. Okay. So let's see. This is a heavy level right here. It's gonna bust through if it does. If it does break, it's gonna break through. We'll probably see 52.14 in a hurry. Okay, let's zoom out a bit. So our next level here would be 52.20. Okay, but we're gonna have to break out here. This is where we have to break out. 52.12 just hit. How we position ourselves right here is our 9 EMA, I mean our 50 EMA on the 1 minute chart is at 5208.9. Okay, basically 5209 or 5208. Um, this is where we would want to see some sort of bounce either to the upside or pushing it back to the downside. We have our EMAs about to touch here now, right? We're right at 5208 and 5209. What this can form as now is an inverse H, right? Rally, basing, and then potential rally to the upside. That's the story that could be potentially told. If not that, if it doesn't form that, we probably do rally, basing, right? We could reject up here and then come back down, or we could just start to trend lower past 5209, right? So there's a few outcomes here, but we want to be in the best position to make the right call, based on what we're doing. But just looking at this here, um, we're gonna need a heavy move either direction, or else we're just gonna be ranging. So let's see what happens here. This is a nice healthy candle, guys, but it's a 1 minute candle, so we're not always gonna be able to catch moves like this. Don't be too disappointed or frustrated, right? Because this isn't the entry we're looking for. The entry we're looking for is down here, right? Because even if you enter calls here and didn't sell in this candle, you would have had ample room to the upside to take your time and taking profits, right? So really, we're not looking for home runs like this. We're looking for base hits that could turn into home runs, right? These are the base hits that turn into those home runs. And these are a little more predictable as well. We can't really predict these heavy jumps like this, right? We might not never see another 1 minute candle like this for the rest of the month. We don't know. What we do know is that every single day there's a level where there's resistance and there's a level where there's support, right? So if we practice mostly on perfecting those areas, right? For us to identify that this was an area that we needed, that we had buyers, was because we saw it over here, right? We saw the interaction over here and we essentially formed the same exact movement on this other side, right? So for us to identify that, that's going to be a lot more beneficial than for us to try to crack our brains to think about how we can make this move up here, right? It just doesn't work that way. Okay. Do you guys understand that? Let me know in the chat if you understand, what the psychology and the thinking is regarding both of these things, right? Let me know in the chat if you understand that. Now again, 52.12, what happened again? We hit that level and what happened? Rejection again, right? And that was one of the outcomes we talked about, was the idea we can rally up, have a basing, touch 52.12. Literally, we just said it a couple seconds ago, and then come down, right? These are all outcomes that can occur. So for us to continue on either side, we have to make sure that we're breaking through. And at this rate right here, if we if we just look if we just look here, we're really just ranging right now, right? 52.12 now, between 52.12 and I would say 52.06, right? Between this level and this level is where we're ranging at currently. So um we don't really want to make too many decisions because they wouldn't be um at least if they're not at this level or at the 52.06 or 52.02 levels, because um of the uncertainty of where it could head, especially now that our volume has come down, because our volume has been coming down consistently since the beginning of the market, right? But let's keep looking here. One thing we want to see is the candle formations. Are we forming lower highs? Are we forming higher lows? Those are the things we want to make sure we're thinking about while we're in the markets. This looks like a drop base drop right here, right? Rejection from 5212 base. Okay, even more. Drop down. Now it's popping up here. What level is that? 5206. So we're seeing that there's buyers still in this area. Are they gonna hold this area? That's the question, right? But as of right now, we're still in the range. All right. Now we just broke through 5206. Now what we want to see is, do we get a bounce here in this area that 5204 we always talk about, right? Okay, broke right through that. All right, now we got some buyers coming back in. That is a heavy drop, guys. That is a heavy drop right there. That's a drop base drop right there. Grabbing puts at that 5212 area is paying right now, right? It paid once, it paid twice, and it paid very well the third time we touched that 5212, guys. That's super high probability right there. And look at that now. Once this drop happens, what's so funny is that if you're a newer trader that doesn't understand levels and where supply and demand is, you start getting happy when you see this long candle and you think it's just going to go all the way down forever and ever, right? But we here at Option Snipers, we understand the idea that, hey, there's always going to be a retest. And we still stayed at this level. We kept our level here intact, knowing that if we get back here, that there's going to be people that are interested in grabbing that level. And look at what's happening. It's going right back to the upside. This is literally the definition of ranging, right? It's like a roller coaster, up, down, up, down, up, down, but between 2 points, right? So the points right here is 5212 and obviously 5204. Between these 2 points, it looks like we're just kind of playing ping pong right here. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. That's how you're looking at the market currently. So what we want to do, we want to wait until now we see if there's a breakout breakout to either direction. What we formed here that we know is that we formed a higher low. Okay. That means this low is higher than this low. Okay. So we did form a higher low. And we've been getting rejected at this 5212 level. Okay. So what we're creating potentially, at least in my mind, is something like this, okay? Where we have a triangle with this line, this trend line, and then the price level trend line, okay? So let's see what happens here. Upside again, boom, boom, boom. What did we just create? A higher high, right? Because over here we have a high, and then now we have this high up here, right? And this high is even higher than the high on this candle that came down, right? So this could be signaling for a reversal to the upside. But we're gonna need continuation. If we don't have continuation, it's only gonna go one other way. But again, right now we're ranging, right? Still between 5212 and 5204. Does anybody have any questions for me just yet? Let me know in the chat.
Hey, Wasi,
What's going on, bro?
at 5212 on a 1 minute, what you looking for to see if that's a heavy resistance or it's going to push through?
For right now, I mean, if we keep testing it, it's definitely gonna push through. Why? Because we're having higher lows behind it, right? So if we break through up here, it's gonna be because we consistently are trending up, right? So this low is down here, but then this low is up here. Then this next low might touch here and then keep going up. Then the next low might touch here and go up. And before you know it, that's when it just busts through, right? So that's usually the interaction of an ascending triangle, which is what we call this, right? So what I would want to see is I would want to see us interact with the 5212 level again. And if we struggle here but never break below the 50 EMA, then that means it will continue to go upside, right? But if it doesn't, then we would just keep getting smacked down.
All right.
But I like upside, based on this trend line. So what I would be looking to do if I'm grabbing upside is um waiting until it does touch the trend line or waiting for a red candle like this, right? Because if you would have entered into a call at this level because it's a red candle, right? Then what you would do is just ride the momentum up of, the buyers taking it out of this supply zone. I mean, this demand zone, right?
Right.
So that's what I would be looking at. We're looking at trying to be as high probable as possible, right? So the probability of us going up while we're down here is high, right? The probability of us going down while we're up here is pretty high because right now we've just been consistently going down, right? But eventually that changes. You know what I mean? Eventually that's going to change. So what we need to do, we have to just position ourselves to be in the best position possible regarding which direction is going into. But then also understanding why we're getting in or out of that trade as well, right? So for instance, if we get to 5212 and say, all right, well, it doesn't look like it's going up anymore, it's going down. At that point in time, we grab puts. But the reason why we get out the trade is if what? If we start seeing a little bit of a pop to 5213, 5214, that's when we get out that trade, right? That's our stop loss. Now, why do we do that? Well, because if you look to your left, you don't never see us hit 5214. The most we're doing is touching 5212 and coming down. So if we get to 5214, guess what? That means the party's over. That means it's 2 a.m. That means it's 2 a.m. The lights cut on, everybody's, you know what I'm saying? Like the police come through, the security, everybody comes and we got to leave the party, right? Because everything's over. That put party is over because we never been there, right? We never been in that area, 5214. So that's why that's our stop loss. But if we never hit 5212, 5213, if we get in, then all we do is expect the downside. And that's what happened here. Once we hit 5212 up here, 5213, all we expected was downside, and that's exactly what we got. But if we ended up popping up, right? If we did a curve up here like this, we haven't been at that level over on the left side. So that means that we're not coming back down, right? That means that's literally the definition of a trend reversal, right? So I hope that answers your question, bro.
Yeah, it did.
Great, great. Great question, by the way. All right, so we're here again at 5210. All right, guys, we're here at 5210. Now, if we don't come up here and create another high, that just means we're going to go back down again. And there's a couple things in play. We have a double bottom, right? And then we also have potentially a triple top. If we end up coming back up here, that would be our triple top. But even if we don't, guys, all we have to do is just break this trend line to the downside and create a new low. And that essentially also is another reason as to why that would be a reversal. Okay. But let's see what happens here. We got some rejection. We want to see if there's continuation, right? And continuation meaning are we going to touch the trend line or below the trend line and get a bounce to the upside? That's what we're currently looking at right now. So if you start seeing us come down but never break below, that basically confirms our trend reversal analysis. Does anybody else have any other questions?
I was just gonna say 5202 look like a real support.
Yeah, 5202 is 5202. Once we hit it that first time, we came down. 5204 is kind of like the enforcer, it's kind of like the security guard. But 5202 is like if you touch me, we going straight up, right? That's kind of what it looks like. So even if we do, even if we do get to 5204, we can still see that interaction of going up. We might not have to wait all the way until we get to 5202. So but that's great analysis, man. And this is what we were talking about right here. Are we gonna get higher lows again, or are we gonna break below? All right. And I'm gonna move this a bit just so it makes a little more sense. I think that's okay there. Set up actually. Might look more like that. All right, so let's start seeing here. What's going to be really important is if we get above the 50 EMA on the 1 minute chart. Because if we do and we trend above, then we really know that we're going to get some really good volume to the upside. But like I said, new facts bring new opinions, guys. This is another drop based drop. But again, what do we get? Buyer volume to the upside, pushing it back up. So we know that there's buyers active at this 5206 level. Do we hold 5206 or do we keep going down? Look at all this. Look at this long wick. Look at it just push up to the upside like that. What does that mean? That means there are buyers at that level. Now, if we break below that level and continue going down, then that means the sellers take control. But again, what are we doing? We're ranging. Always periodically take a look at the higher time frame so it can kind of give you a glimpse as far as what's actually happening. Because if you stay on the 1 minute chart, you can sometimes fall asleep and go into a daze of just watching the market, right? But coming out, you could kind of get a better feel as far as what you think the market's about to do based on what you're seeing, right? So this is actually even allowing me to adjust my trend line here. So you can see we're ranging. And with triangles, you always know that there's a breakout. However, with ranges, you have to have the understanding of it could go either direction, really. It could really go either direction. You really can't like guess it. But once it does go either direction, it may go that same amount of points in that direction. Now, what do I mean by that? We have 5206 and then we have 52012. I mean, we have 5212, right? That's 6 points. That means that we have a 6 point range. So if we break above or below, we would potentially go that same amount of points or twice that amount to either the upside or downside, right? So what that would look like is if we break to the downside, we would go from 5204 down to 5196 or 5198, right? Um, which would be 6 points lower. Or if we break above, then we would go from 5212 to 5216, right? Or I mean, sorry, 5218, 6 points higher, right? That would kind of be the idea. That's kind of how you could kind of average, what's to come after the potential moves. What this triangle is consolidation. That's what this triangle is. So after we consolidate, then there's usually a large move in whichever direction it's looking to go. Now, here's one thing to notice though. You always have the understanding that news trumps everything. If they drop a um news article about something, or they have an FOMC meeting or something, and you're looking at the trade and it's supposed to go one direction based off of your analysis and everything we talk about, but then just weird stuff start happening and things start moving around. That's how you know that whatever move is occurring is not based off of technical analysis. That's just going to be based off of whatever they're saying with their mouth, right? In the news. So that's when you kind of put your charting strategies away and you just wait for all of that to subside. before you allow yourself to enter back into the market, right? But what are we creating here on the higher time frames? Can anybody let me know what we're creating on the higher time frames? Down here,
Higher lows.
higher lows. Thank you very much. Who is that?
Stella,
Hey Stella, how you doing?
good morning.
Good morning. We're creating higher lows. That's the great answer, guys. Higher lows. Now, what happens with higher lows? That means that it's a potential reversal. That means we should be going to the upside, right? That means that our sellers are getting tired, right? We have a low here, we have a low here, then we have this low here. I told you guys 5206. If we don't break below that, we would start going back up. And that's exactly what occurred here. So if all you did was just say, all right, the next time we get a low on a red candle, right? This is a red candle. I'm going to take calls here, right? If you took a call down here, easy, get out here, boom, you're done. Okay. 52, what's this? 5205 all the way to 5209. That's 4 points. Okay. That's a lot of money in these candles. And this is just a 2-minute move, right? So that's the stuff we're talking about. Just quickly identifying trends in the market, taking advantage of them in real time, and getting in and getting out of there, having precise execution. Okay. um, and also look at what we're creating here, guys. When these EMAs are close like this, right? What do we call that? Can anybody let me know in the chat? When these EMAs are close, when the 9 EMA and the 50 EMA are close, what's currently happening?
Consolidation.
Consolidation. I know that voice from anywhere. That's Mike White. Consolidation, guys. Consolidation. When we're in consolidation, all you want to do is try to figure out what you need to do when something specific occurs. If we're consolidating and we're in a range, what you're saying is, all right, if we're at 5204, what am I going to do when we get there? If we're at 5212, what am I going to do when I get there? Okay, because something is going to happen. That's the promise of the market, right? Something is going to happen, right? Once we get to those levels. And so that's our plan. That's our strategy throughout the day. Okay. We not only have a pre-market plan, we have a during market plan, right? Like these are plans that we're making in real time, right? Because it's not just enough to just say, all right, if this happens pre-market, this happens because guess what? During the day, things are happening, right? That you couldn't have planned for because it hadn't happened yet, right? So that's even more important, right? Even more important than having a pre-market strategy is having the understanding of how to have a during market strategy. Okay. How to have a during market strategy. So again, anytime we touch the 9 EMA or the 50 EMA to the upside on the 1-minute chart, we kept coming down. At the same time, we were creating higher lows. Currently, we are still technically having a higher low, at least for this candle. With this candle, we did break below it, but the difference with this candle is that we're still within the range, right? We're still within the range, at least currently. Okay. If we continue to break below this range, right? If we continue to break below 5206, then the next thing we want to see is 5204. Okay. And at 5204, what's the last thing that happened? Upside. Okay. And it only happened twice, right? So if we touch 5204 and we get here and we probably peak in a bit, 5203 or whatever, then we're going to want to see, all right, do we break below it or does it start to kind of like stutter in this area, right? If it starts to stutter like that and it looks like there's, potential buyers, then they're going to want to push it up, right? And so that might even be something like this where it may not even get all the way to that level just yet and still have buyers peak in the market, right? Because the low on this candle was 5204.25. Okay, so it didn't even get all the way to 5204 before buyers pushed it back up to 5206, right? Those are the things you want to keep in mind. Now, again, here we are back at 5204. What occurs here? what happens? That's what we want to see. We're peaking in the area. Now we're in the zone. This is kind of like our what we call our demand zone, right? This is where the buyers are supposed to defend themselves and take it back to the upside. If the buyers don't defend themselves, it's going to break right through this area. Okay. But if they do defend themselves, they're going to take it right back up. All right. Here's where the fun happens. Now we broke right below. All right. See, there we go. It broke right through the level. Okay. 5201. It broke all the way through. Guys, this is literally what you're supposed to expect. If it doesn't stutter, it's going to be a longer move. Okay. Now, here's the deal. This is still a 1 minute chart. And what we're going to want to see now is what happens at 5,200, because that's the psychological level. Do we just keep going down and down and down, or do buyers step in at some point in time? But right now, it looks like they're just taking it down, but we could get a retest to 5,200. Okay. And as of right now, we just broke out the range. This is why we get long moves, guys. And that's why we always wait. Look at that 91.9, 51.95. We talked about this all day long, guys. We talked about this all day long. Quick, fast, and hurry. What did I tell you guys? If we break 5202, it's going to go 6 points or more further in a fast hurry. And that's literally what just happened. Okay? That's literally what just happened. These are 1 minute candles, by the way. This action happened in 2 minutes. This is why range trading is your friend. And thank goodness that we're actually recording this, because what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to study this video. You're gonna want to study this recording. Anytime we have consolidation, you want to study this recording, because then you're gonna have all the weapons you're gonna need to get in and take advantage of this trade. Look at this trend line that we drew. What happened here? We tagged that trend line and then we started going down. The trend line was created even before the candle was created. So that's the pretty impressive thing here, right? This trend line was created before this candle even existed, because we created the trend line over here somewhere, right? So once it tagged it, it literally never saw that trend line ever again. It just broke down, and now we're all the way below 5,200, okay? E-Trade said, I'm actually in this trade. I love that, guys. Make sure that you guys are taking advantage here, because we're literally watching this happen in real time, right? 5202 is a strong level, and we knew it was a strong level. But if by chance we broke below it, we knew it was going to be a heavy, heavy move. Why? Because what you have to see consolidation as, think of it as like agitation. Think of it as somebody being frustrated, right? It's like once it finally breaks out this, like this range is like, it's like the shell, right? It's like being bullied in school, right? You're being, but and I don't want to bring up anybody's past trauma, okay? This market is dumping. This market is going crazy right now. All right, I don't want to bring up anybody's past trauma, right? But imagine just being bullied by a school bully, right? And so you're in this range. You guys like they're bullying you. Eventually, they hit your boiling point here. Like, all right, you like, you know what? Enough is enough. That's when you just start swinging on this bully. Boom, 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 knocked out in 4 punches. The bully can't even test you anymore. The bully's no longer in this range, right? That's what's happening when you're looking at consolidation. So that's the perfect reason as to why you should be patient. Because at the end of the day, guess what? The best entry on this trade is understanding that if we end up breaking below, we can just ride it down, right? But it's going to be hard to dictate when to enter that trade within the range, because we're still within the range. But once we actually touch the range, now we have decisions we can make. Look at this downside, guys. Like, it's literally consistently giving this downside. We broke below this level here, right? Okay, so here I have a level. I don't even know what level this is. What's this? 52. E-Trade, are you still in this? Is anybody still in this trade? Because I don't even see a reason as to why to get out, at least until just now. 5180 is a key level here. So this is where you would potentially want to take profit. Is anybody still in this trade? Because this is crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 minutes of healthy downside, guys. 5 minutes of healthy downside. I really wish I was in this trade. E-Trade says yes. Barbara Jordan says yes. That's amazing, guys. So that means you guys took action on waiting for the consolidation break. Okay. Waiting for the consolidation break again. Randy said caught it, but out now. Nice. E-Trade said just got, wow, you just got out, E-Trade? That's crazy. That means you basically caught the whole move, really. That's nice. That's nice, guys. Good stuff. Does anybody want to talk about their entry? Anybody want to talk about their entry and exit, like how they got in the trade, how they got a trade? Talk to us a little bit. We got about 15 more minutes before we hop off the call here. And I think this move was a pretty healthy move. You guys saw this this level come up out of nowhere. I didn't even know I had it. It's a level from the past, which is still gonna be relevant in the present, which it is now, right? 5180. I'm not sure where this level was created, but it was made somewhere on this chart. Okay, 5180. Okay, so that level was created over here, right? So once we tagged 5180, it came back up. So that's why you're gonna usually leave your levels on your chart. But yeah, does anybody want to come off of mute? Tell us about how you got in your trade, how you got out of your trade. What was your thought process? I see E-Trade made 204. That's what's up, bro. Congrats. Excellent, excellent. That's a lot of money. Barbara Jordan said I had a level mark, and when price crossed it, I got it. Nice, nice, nice. Cool stuff. E-Trade, talk to me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Actually, man, I have like footprint charts, man, and I can see where buyers and sellers are coming in.
yeah.
And so like when it was going down, you could see sellers at certain price marks coming in. So I kind of waited. And then once I saw it was a strong push, man, I was like, hold on. And then I have an indicator that kind of tells me when to get in. So yeah, I kind of cheat a little bit. So
Hmm. Nice. Well, listen though, put into the chat whatever things you could put, any links and stuff like that for people to, take advantage of too as well. As far as definitely the footprints, because I know the footprints definitely help out. Do you use which footprint chart do you use? Is that Sierra?
no, I have mine on Ninja Trader.
Okay, yeah, you're using
But
Ninja.
what I actually bought this from somebody. I actually bought a footprint chart that has like order flow and all that stuff on it. So I have to like buy had to get like a data feed and stuff like that. So I had to
Yeah.
pay for it per month, but it's like $4 a month.
Fire. Nice.
So
Yeah, definitely link us up if you got any links and stuff for
yeah,
people to take advantage of. Yeah, definitely put that in there.
yeah, because it shows where buyers and sellers are on the bid and ask side, and it shows selling imbalances. So it's almost like almost to a degree cheating. So you can almost see where people are coming in and where heavy volume is at what price they're they're selling at. So you can almost see it. It shows it to you, so you can kind of like have an idea when to get in and when to get out. So I kind of I kind of say I'm cheating a little bit. So I don't want to.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's good to cheat and make money. Over here,
Yeah.
we like the cheating that allows us to make money. Guys,
Yeah.
listen, this
Hey,
is Option Snipers University, but this is also a place where we make money. All right, guys, this is not your typical university where you can't use chat TBT. You can't do this. Nah, we don't do that around here. We get into the bag. Good stuff though, man.
hey,
Zaki, you were saying something,
yeah,
bro?
I was going to ask E-Trade. E-Trade, what's the difference between your footprint and a service like Bookmap?
Well, book map, to a degree is just like showing like bubbles and stuff like that. I'm not sure. You can kind of ask Josh. I really haven't, I've never used book map, but with footprint charts, it actually has numbers. You get what I'm saying? So at
Yeah.
a certain price, it's gonna tell you how many um contracts were traded at that price level on the bid and the ask side. And so you can kind of know how you say how at a certain price it's gonna my footprint chart is gonna show at a like it's gonna color a real dark if it's a whole lot of contracts at a certain price. So when you start seeing that and you can kind of read it, and like for selling imbalances, it's going to print the numbers in blue. So it's going to be a whole bunch of numbers, and you kind of got to read it to know what it's saying. And
Yeah.
but and then once you see it, it kind of tell it to a degree. Once you know how to read it, it's going to tell you, okay, yeah, it's a lot of people wanting to coming in the market right here to want to buy at this point. So like if it's going down, and then at a certain point there's just like a whole bunch of orders coming at a certain price, that might mean there's an institutional buyer right there that's just buying up all the contracts that a seller is selling, and then it might go up. And if it's going up or going down or something like that, like in this consolidation area that it was in that range, at that point, institutional traders are putting in their orders. They're kind of hiding it, but on the footprint chart, they can't hide that.
Yeah. And that footprint is separate from the Ninja Trader, or is only used in conjunction?
Ninja Trader has their own, but the I bought this from another trader that I kind of follow myself.
Okay.
And there's another trader that I follow, but his is better than the order flow footprint chart that I have, and I'm trying to save up money to get that one because that one shows a whole lot more information that makes it a whole lot easier for me. So
Cool.
Cool, cool. Thanks for the info, E-Trade. Appreciate you, bro.
hey man, no problem, man. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for me to get that money, but I'm still sim trading. So, but
Yeah.
it's I'm testing my theory. I'm testing my knowledge out and my theory out for what I want to do before I actually get back to trading live. But I'm just really just testing my knowledge out right at this point.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. And I mean, what I would say though is along with bookmap footprint charts and everything like that, it's going to be more so seen as added confirmation to what you're looking at versus just kind of blindly going into things. And I'm saying this generally speaking
Yeah,
for,
yeah,
for for our new traders.
yeah. I wouldn't rely on it by itself. You're gonna have to have a lot of other confluences that kind of make you be able to get into a trade because you don't want to just rely on one thing blindly because it's not gonna
Absolutely.
be what's gonna help you. You got to know what you're doing and what's gonna get you in and out and make good exit and entries. So
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, man. Yeah. So yeah, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. We
Look
got
like
any?
that. I was
Would you
gonna say
say?
it looked like that 5180 was a solid support.
Yeah, yeah, that was a previous support level from probably last week. I was just watching the market go down, and then all of a sudden 5180 popped up, and then I see this old level, and that level would look pretty strong here, especially if you were to just kind of take it off the initial bounce. Um, but right now we're again in a range, so we would want to see what happens here at 5180 before we make any decisions. Um, so yeah, this would really be us waiting on hands right now. We have about 9 minutes, guys. Anybody else have any questions? Anyone had anything to add? Um, and any other inputs here?
Hi, yes, this is Stella. So I've been with Option Snipers since September of last year, And my advice to newer traders like I am is study the market daily. That's what I do to become familiar with market behavior. What happens when the market comes out. Oh, excuse me, when news come out, when certain news comes out. Um, what happens not only pre-market but intra-market and after-market. How you can see gaps and things like that. Um, Before, during, and after market hours. So, I mean, I would just encourage you just to acclimate your eyes to the charts and monitor price movement,
Yeah.
and not only be solely focused on um, price movement, but what's happening, in the world, right? In the United States, could help you be a little bit more informed about the market. So, I would just like to, give that piece of information because sometimes, you get wrapped up on looking at, candles and you get zoned into one area. But actuality, you should be broadening your sights, right? You should be looking at, higher time frames to see, kind of like where the market is going. But then zooming down to lower time frames to say, okay, is the market shifting to another direction? So
Yep.
I'd just like to impart that to you.
Yep. Great stuff. Great stuff. Thanks so much, Stella. Appreciate you. Yeah, everything she says absolutely right. Specifically zeroing on those larger time frames, especially as we were mentioning earlier, right? Because the whole idea of what we were looking at was the fact that everything that happened today was based on the fact that we had higher time frames of past historical data, right? Things that had already happened. 5212 was a level from the past, okay? 5206 was a level from the past. 5204 was a level from the past, right? So if we're talking about making current decisions, you're still going to need your higher time frame data, right? Going back in history and seeing what happened. We have it. We even have a big old range here, 5220 and 5180, right? Stemming from even last week. So it's always going to be beneficial for you to step out and look at the higher time frame data so that you can make present um and current information decisions. So great stuff. Great stuff. Um Anything else here, guys? We have about 5 more minutes left. Anyone else had any questions? Barbara, did you want to come in and talk a little bit about the levels you had and how you took your trade? Randy as well. Any takers here? Oh,
Okay, what I did was just kind of like put your lines at certain prices,
yeah,
and when price crosses,
yeah.
I mean, I don't do it as soon as the part of the candle starts crossing. I mean, I want to see if another one's going to open up. That's probably not the way you do it, but
No, it is. It is. So
oh,
what I said no, I said it is. You're right. You're right. That's definitely the right way to go about it. So which level were you looking at? What allowed you to take that action?
that was on the 905 candle, and it was, see, I'm on SPY now, so it's going to be probably a little different from what a lot different from what your numbers are. And when that
We're
one
at SPY.
long candle started coming down after it crossed a certain level,
Okay.
it was already down some, but once it crossed that level,
Mm-hmm.
I just got in,
Nice.
once it crossed my line.
Mm-hmm. Nice, nice. I like
I
that.
don't know if I don't know if that's clear, but that's the best way I can explain it. The candle had been doing some
Yeah,
before it crossed my line, so I just got in.
got in, got you. Yeah, I think it's good to know why you're getting into a trade, and it's also obviously good to know why you're getting out of a trade. I think most traders have almost no clue as to why they're getting into a trade. So, identifying a level on your chart, using the analysis of, based off of what you've studied, then allowing you to get into the trade and, take action. That's all you can ask for as a new trader, really. So I definitely commend you. And obviously it paid dividends. So great stuff. Congratulations on that, brother. Excellent, excellent, guys. Um, I see Mike Houston. What's going on, bro? Uh, I see Alec, um, Terry, Lester, Jonathan. Hope you guys are having a great Monday. Today's a really great day. It's some nice weather here where I am. So I'm gonna be enjoying some sun here in a few minutes. Um, definitely make sure you're spending time outside, guys. We definitely need the sun. Okay. Definitely need the sun on our skins. Can't stay indoors all day long. I know they try to do that, but you want to make sure you're getting some sun. All right, guys. Well, we're basically right here at 10:30. Unless anyone has any questions, we can go ahead and break here for the day. Make sure you guys stay in tune for our next meeting on Thursday. Um, we'll make sure you guys get the link as always. I'm liking this new Zoom style. It's a lot easier, honestly. So I hope you guys enjoy it as well. We have the recordings that's also going to be posted in the chat for you guys to watch back. Guys, most of the recordings that we've been having recently have been ranges, right? Like if you remember any of our trading sessions and we talked about ranges, like just go ahead and watch them back and like just watch them over and over and over and over again. This is going to allow you to gain confidence in your ability to trade within ranges, right? It's like, okay, if you add up all the data, right? If you think to yourself, okay, well, every time I watch the range trade, this happened based on this, or this happened based on that, or this is the time that this happened, or this was the level that this occurred. Like once you put all the data together, then you just test yourself, do some paper trading, right? You don't have to put actual money down, but then you get to a point where it's like, wow, like I could see it before it happens almost, right? Like that's kind of the zone you want to be in when you're talking about being a trader and making decisions in real time. This was a very high probability play. I mean, when you watch the recording back, you're gonna see a large red candle. You're gonna see this large wide green candle, and when you see the fact that it's literally gonna form the way you've already seen it form, then you can start applying that confidence in real time and not just having to watch it back to get the confidence, because then you can start seeing it even before it happens. Right? That's the whole idea of what we do here. Okay, so anywho, um, like I said, the recording is going to be in our Discord channel. So make sure that you watch these things back, and then send us any feedback you have in the Discord as well. All right, guys, this was a great session. Let me know in the Discord, how you felt about today, what stuff you like, what stuff you want to continue doing, what stuff you want to see. Just go ahead and put it in the Discord. Just, let me know what you guys feel about today's session. All right, y'all. Chat soon. Take it easy. Have a great Monday. Enjoy yourself. Peace.